a little bit more when you're working from home. So whether you're in my class or any teachers, this video to do this week, remember all upload to Teams. There is a team breaks down if you started should been doing about the race is which is really important. This is all going to be about whether or not to be so a race that the race can be anything to be the Amazon anything and not look at different you're going to know the end work that you'll submit to your teacher. So just to start off, where is the Peruvian Amazon to start with? So there's two maps there. So remember, when we're using maps to describe location, say what continent it's on, what country, what part of the country, use your compass, so north, east, south, west, what is it close to, what is it bordering, any physical geography features, and so on. So if you want to have a quick pause now with that up there and have a go at the task of describing where the Peruvian Amazon is located. Okay, so after that, I'm moving forward. We're going to carefully analyse some figures of information to reach a decision about whether roads should be built or not. So always have in your mind, do we agree that they should be allowed? Okay, so the first task, I'm going to talk through this graph with you. You then can pause the video. You can go over to your worksheet, either on email or Teams, and have a go at this task. So this graph is going to help us to decide whether we think that even more trees should be allowed to be chopped down to make way for roads and road networks across Peru and the Amazon rainforest in Peru. So this graph shows, you can see there's a key up at the top. The green bars, that shows the Brazilian Amazon, and the yellow bars show the non-Brazilian Amazon. And what these coloured bars show is how much forest has been lost in that region between 2001 and 2013. So what I want you to do first is study that information there, describe the pattern. So is there a trend? Has it gone up? Has it gone down? Is it fluctuating, which means going up and down? Evidence from the graph, so how much is it increased or decreased by? Is there any years when there's any anomalies, so it doesn't fit the overall pattern? Once you've done that, give reasons for the trend that you've described. So why do you think it's going up or down, whatever the pattern might be? And then just a little bit of a thinking skills-wise is, could that information have been presented in a different way? So think about all different graphs and charts that we can use in geography and in any subject, really. So pause the video now and have a go at those three questions, please. Okay, next little bit of information, and this is quite a challenging graph, so please don't be put off by this. What this graph shows is the change in annual, so yearly, deforestation rate, and it compares the period of time 2000 to 2005, and then compares that to 2005 to 2010, and it shows you all the different countries on the right hand side, whether the amount that they're deforesting, which you learned about a couple of weeks ago, so chopping down trees, has that increased compared to 2000, 2005 and 2005 and 2010, or has it decreased, and so on. So again, in a second, pause the video, have a go at describing the trends. So you know, which countries have increased, which countries have decreased the amount of deforestation, why have some places seen an increase, do we think? Why have some others seen a decrease? So pause that and have a go at that now, please. Okay, and that should help you to be thinking, right, Peru's up there at 94%. So they've had a 94% increase in yearly deforestation rates. So that's something to bear in mind when we're thinking about, well, should we allow further deforestation to make way for road networks? Okay, moving on. So I'm not going to read all of this out to you because you might want to take some time to read through, break it down, circle any words you're not sure of, try and find out some definitions and so on. But I'll introduce what this piece of information is. So it's a little bit of information with the headline that we're destroying rainforests so quickly that they may be gone in 100 years, which is obviously really alarming. So go through this, highlight any interesting facts that you find. Then in the last paragraph, it talks all about something called the Paris Climate Summit that was held in 2015. Basically, it was a huge meeting, conference, where lots of countries got together and they agreed to reduce their carbon emissions and basically crack down on any illegal deforestation that's happening within the rainforest. So once you've paused it and you're having a read through this, say what do you think is good about the Paris Climate Summit Agreement. And then lastly, can you think of any challenges? So think about, how many countries there are in the world and all trying to think together and come up with a plan. Think about how there might be some challenges within that. So pause the video now, please, and have a go at that task. Okay, moving on then. So this piece of information is all about illegal activity, and the source of information says that illegal activity is the main threat to tropical rainforests. It's estimated that 50% of deforestation of tropical rainforests is a result of illegal activities such as illegal logging, illegal mining and illegal agriculture. They say that they create few opportunities for local people, they bring no benefit to the government because if they're illegal, that means it's not overseen by the government, taxes aren't paid, it's not regulated and so on, and it causes huge amounts of environmental destruction because it's unregulated, no one's overseeing it and making sure that they're following the right, safe and environmentally respectful practices. So what I want you to do, again, is in a second, pause it, have a read through it properly in your own time, and then I want you to give me a social challenge linked to illegal activity. So remember, social is all about people, how happy, healthy, safe they are, and then give me an economic challenge that's linked to illegal activity. So remember, the economy is all about money and jobs, and then why are those issues so bad? So pause it and have a go at that now, please. Okay, so this next bit of information I just wanted to show you because I think it's really interesting to see this, that the tropical rainforest, in previous lessons we've described them as the lungs of the earth. So not only are they lungs of the earth providing us with oxygen and storing carbon, but it's also known as the world medicine cabinet. So it's really important for worldwide health. It's got lots of medicinal drugs that are derived from different either rainforest plants or rainforest animals. And there's just some facts and figures and things there. So randomly, bats that are found in the rainforest, their saliva have been used to help in medicines that prevent heart attacks. At the bottom there, it says 25% of Western pharmaceuticals, so that's drugs, medicines that are used in the West, are all come from rainforest ingredients. So it's really important that this rainforest is protected. Another in the bottom right hand corner, really important, 2/3 or more of all drugs that are used with cancer fighting properties also come from the rainforest. So like I said, with all the information that I'm showing you today, keep in mind, should roads be allowed to be built through the Peruvian Amazon? Bearing in mind there'll have to be some deforestation to make way for these roads. Well, if you look at this piece of evidence, you would probably argue, no, they shouldn't be, because what if we are deforesting areas where there's rainforest animals or rainforest plants that are crucial, vitally important in developing medicines? Okay, moving on. Here's a little bit about Peru then. So if we're saying, should these roads be built through Peru as a country, we need to know a little bit about Peru. So there's a bit of a fact file here for us. So Peru is a middle income country. And there's a ranking using the Human Development Index. So that takes into account a few things like life expectancy, income, how educated, and the literacy rate of people that live within a country. And they're given a rating, and Peru comes out 77th out of 187 countries. So that's why we call it a middle income country. According to government statistics in Peru, about 30% of the population live below the national poverty line. That means that they have something like less than $1 per day to live on. That's not just extra spending money, that's $1 per day for the rent, the food, the clothing, everything that they may need to survive. But in rural areas, so countryside areas of Peru, that's even greater, and they estimate that 50% of the population in those areas are poor. The capital of Peru is called Lima, and people that live there can expect to live 20 years longer than those living outside in the countryside, which is so unfair. The inequality there is stark. So when we're thinking back to this question about should roads be built, well, maybe the roads might help some people in rural Peru to access the rest of Peru, to access services and jobs, to improve their quality of life and their standard of living, the money, the income that they can get. So you could argue that this is a little bit of evidence that the roads should be built to allow rural parts of Peru to develop. And just a little bit of a fact file up in the top. So some key things there, and you can see again the differences between urban, so towns and cities, and rural areas. So what I want you to do now is pause the video, please, and answer the question, why is Peru classed as a middle income country? And how would roads help a country like Peru to develop? So develop means getting better and more advanced as a country. Okay, so we're coming to being able to make our decision about whether we think roads should be built through the Peruvian Amazon or not. And I've got two answers here, A and B. And what I want you to do in a sec, I want you to pause this statement so you can read them. They're also on your Teams or your emails work, and have a read through them and think, well, which one do I agree with most? Do I agree with A? Do I agree with B? Is there parts of A I agree with, but parts of A I disagree with, and so on. So just have a look and a read through that. Make sure you do, because it'll really help you with your final decision and the final task overall as to whether you're going to allow the roads to be built or not. Okay, so that leads us to the last task that you're going to do today. So we've got a question for you to answer. So the Peruvian government has decided to allow the development of new roads in the Amazon. So that's already gone ahead. So we're going to debate whether, well, do we think that was the right decision? Yes, these roads should be built, or no, they shouldn't. So a little bit of a checklist when making decisions in geography. It's really good to follow this type of checklist to get the best answer. So you need to clearly state your choice. I'd give and explain at least 3 reasons for your choice, why you've chosen that. Use evidence from the figures, so go back and look at bits in your Teams, your emails pack, and what evidence can you find to support your view, whether the roads should have been built or not. Think about the social, economic and environmental benefits, so the positives about your choice. A really good way to balance out your answer is to suggest a problem with your choice. If you've said, yes, I think they should have gone ahead with the roads, well, back that up with, however, someone might disagree with me because. And then to make your answer the top geographer answer, a word that we love to use in geography is sustainability. So say why your choice is the most sustainable. So why is it that your choice is better now for the people that are living today without negatively harming future populations as well? And then go on to say why you didn't pick the other choices. I think that's cut off at the bottom. Okay, so let's just look at a bit of an example first. If you're a little bit unsure how to start, hopefully this example will help you. You can pause it on that example. I think the checklist is still on there, so you can use the checklist to help you. And hopefully you will be able to come to a decision. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer. As long as you can justify, so give reasons for your answer, then that will be good. So here's just a little bit of an answer for you. So I think that the Peruvian government made the right decision. Roads are vital to help Peru develop as a country. As seen in, I've said figure 6 there, but you can say in the fact file, for example. As seen in the fact file, 30% of people in Peru live below the poverty line. The roads will help to pull Peru out of poverty, as they will help to encourage development. For example, jobs will be created in constructing the roads. Tourism will increase because the country is more accessible and more goods can be transported through Peru, which could increase Peru's exports. Export is what you sell out of a country. This will help Peru's economy, but it will also help socially, as less people will be living in poverty, meaning that quality of life will be greater. Although it will lead to deforestation, which is bad, I think the economy is more important. So that's just an example of a start to an answer for you and how you can structure your answer. So please, you can pause it on this slide and have a go at answering that question. Once you've either written your work, take a photo of it, upload it to Teams or send on email if you can't get on Teams, or if you've typed it, again, brilliant, send that through on Teams or email. And if you need any help, please get in touch with myself, Mr. Sylvester, Miss Madare, or Mr. Byrne. Take care, Year 8. Thank you for watching.